guess who's coming? Timberland, a.k.a. Bill Drummond. Who gon' get it crunk like me, Timberland? Or my nigga Scoop, a.k.a. Fat Man. We guaranteed to make the party people bounce. Fellas say, oh, girls say, ow. Looking at the cornrows up in the club. Girl, don't be bashful, girl, back it up.
Alrighty.
That's enough of that. Ooh.
How you feeling, my friend?
I'm feeling fantastic. It's very hot out here. I'm melting.
It's a pretty hot night.
You know what? I've heard the high heat is good for the pores and the skin.
I heard it's good for your.
So when I spit on it, it
yeah. Okay.
You know.
All right.
Get some warmed up.
Yeah.
So.
All right. Well, welcome to PotCast. I'm Pablo Escobango. This is Bonzo Escobango. As you can see, we've sacrificed a bit of video quality, but that was in favor of sound quality.
The sound.
But yeah, this is a talk show more or less, and the more you can hear us talking, the better
quality you can hear us is way better. You know, we'll get to the.
Yeah, we're gonna get like a nice ass camera that's gonna get like all stanky with it,
Don't
4K
worry.
and shit. We're
How
gonna have to start putting
you
on
guys
makeup.
stop worrying about what the fuck we're doing and worry about yourselves because we got it.
Yeah, so ignore the fat guy face wipes because I'm a fat guy. It's hot and I'm gonna be sweating. And tonight we're drinking. This is the drunk cast. We got that.
This is
Kirkland Spice Rum. Shout out Kirkland Spice Rum.
This is the first. You know, we've had beers, a couple of them in the past. This one is brought to you by
Scarlett 2i2 Studio. Everything you need to record at home. You got your audio interface. You know what I'm saying? That's how you get the sound from your mic to your computer to your people. Know what I'm saying? After that, you got some headphones like my man Bonzo has got on. Know what I'm saying? And it's got that sleek ass red. This red is.
Oh yeah.
That's a tasty red. You know what I'm saying?
Sure is.
And then the PA still resistance is this beautiful third generation USB microphone from Scarlett. And I mean, I know my voice is amazing, but now it's orgasmic. You know what I'm saying? It's on a whole other level.
So shout out to Scarlett if you want to make any music or just record any audio. Get you a Scarlett 2i2 or 6i6.
Yeah, you're gonna be sitting pretty and sounding nice. Oh, there's that breeze right there.
Yeah, I feel it on my feet.
I felt that. Well, I'd like to officially welcome my man Bonzo back to the vaping crew, dog. Yee.
It's been about 9 months.
Yeah, such a great guy. His person was carrying a child and, of course, had to stop intaking nicotine. And without being asked, in a motion of solidarity, he decided he would do the same. He said, I'm right there with you. I'm right there with you.
It was rough the first 9 months.
Yeah, I can imagine.
It got better after that, though.
Yeah. And then, so how is it being back on that good?
Well, so as you seen in the last podcast, I was smoking them tobaccos.
He's getting them
spirits.
Smells like American spirit.
You see, that was nice, but I was like, it was just like every time I had to go smoke one, I'd have to wash up, brush my teeth, and all that for the baby. So I was like,
and you don't want to smell like cigarettes.
And that is not good.
Shout out Earl.
Love that guy.
Love that guy. That guy's natural.
So I was just like, get back on that vape, and I'll probably still take a couple of them hitters.
Them heaters. Every now and then, you know what I mean? I feel like just as an adult man,
it's
you
good
know what
for
I mean?
you.
You should. The occasional cigarette it builds character. You know what I mean? You kind of start to see what a lot of people who are pretty high profile individuals who are smokers, like you got to think like every like famous or influential person at some point, like Obama was a smoker. That was like a big thing people had a problem with when he first got elected, was they found out he smoked. And they're like,
Who cares?
the president smokes. And it's like, yeah, he's black.
Yeah.
What do you mean? Like, yeah, he's got them Newports, dog, right in them
He
pocket,
was
right,
hitting them
right behind
backwards.
that pocket, that American flag pocket square. He's got a packet of Newports, dog, ready to fire him up. Him and Michelle in the chopper, like, let's get it, baby, let's get it. Presidential. You know what my favorite Obama moment ever was when they first get inaugurated. They have like a TV ceremony where they move the old president out of the house.
Inaugurate.
Yeah, that was actually the first United States presidential inauguration. Fucking gold. Okay. But so like they have the president and the first lady, and you know everybody else is old as shit, so their kids are all grown up, so they're right there. But they have like the first family walk out of the White House, meet the new first family, they shake hands, they take some pictures, and then Air Force One takes the old first family wherever they're going. New first family moves into the White House, you know.
Whatever you want to call it.
But the best part was, you know, George Bush was the president right before Obama. Like, that's how long ago that was. You know, Obama getting elected was like really in our lifetime, you know. So like
was that like 08?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, 09, because the election year is 08, but then you're the president-elect in November from the election, but you don't get inaugurated until like February or January. Inaugurated. Sorry, yeah. But the best part ever, and how I knew I was going to like him, nothing political, I just knew he was a cool dude, is every other one, you know, it's simple. They get out of Air Force One, they walk up, they meet, shake hands, and then they go their separate ways. This one, Obama doesn't walk.
What do you mean?
He put on that. He did that. Yeah. He had that Crip walk going, dog. He got off Air Force One like, what's up, Georgie boy? Get your shit out my house. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, he blacked it up so much, which, you know, he did not do for the rest of his presidency. Mm-hmm. But I appreciated that, you know, in that one moment, because that whole ceremony and even televising it is just fluff piece, you know what I mean? Like, that has nothing to do with anything. And he knows that, and he's like, you know what, I'm a first black president. I gotta come in with the swag. You
gotta make a.
You gotta come in
scene, right?
with that stank. You know what I'm saying?
But
all right.
What do you say we get into it?
All right, let's get on track here. So, last time we were on, we were talking about SpongeBob and what the name of the Bikini Bottom strip club would be, and we asked for some viewer submissions, but because there are no viewers, we didn't get any submissions. So we came up with our own. And we're gonna start reading them off.
They're pretty good.
Okay, so we're just gonna go back and forth with titles for the possible Bikini Bottom strip club.
Yeah.
Yeah. Why don't you go first, Bonzo?
All right. So my idea for my ideal Bikini Bottom strip joint, number one would be coming in at Tuna Strip.
Tuna Strip. That's fantastic. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not so out of the box
it's not vulgar.
Yeah, anybody could have thought of that. But you know, it's illicit enough to be like, hey, you know, 18 plus.
If they had one downtown called Tuna Strip.
Oh yeah, dude, it would be downstairs from Ballerinas.
I don't know if I'd go there.
I don't know, dude. You know, you might just...
You're gonna walk past and catch a smell and be like, they're floating. You know, when they catch a smell and they're floating.
Like when Mr. Krabs smells money and he just floats over. I love that. Why isn't real life like that? You know what I mean? Where like...
It could be.
You know, you see your special someone and your heart shoots out of your chest. And the eyes go out, heart-shaped too. Why isn't life like that? Hey, whoever made life, you spec it up.
It'd probably hurt. Some people are born with their hearts like outside of their chest. I don't think it's
I've seen that. Yeah.
Yeah, so you probably wouldn't really want that.
I feel like that's the real reason there should be Iron Man, is for people like that. You know, It's like if anybody needs like a protective suit, or like it should be hashtag normalize chainmail for people with that condition. You know what I mean? Just straight up here in that King Arthur.
Yeah.
You got gauntlets on. They go jousting.
No, because they get hit in the chest.
Me and our boss were talking about jousting today at work and how like it would be cool.
Which boss?
The big boss.
Okay.
Yeah, the top dog. The bento man himself.
Yeah.
We were talking about jousting and stuff while we were in the car. Today was a motherfucker, dude.
Yeah?
Oh, yeah. We had to lift 8-foot patio doors with the glass in them, so they're heavy as shit. Like, up 15 feet and over a railing onto the second level deck of a 3-story house. Mm-hmm. And
just so you guys know, we work together, but I've been off of work this past week since we had the new arrival.
Yeah, since we had the new addition to the team,
but
free agent.
These guys have been.
We've been putting in work and it's been real shitty, but I feel accomplished. Like after a day like that, like getting here, that's all I was thinking about all day today. I was like, this just sucks and it's gonna drag on, but we're gonna be able to get drunk and talk about stupid shit, dude, right after this.
It's always nice to do that.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. All right, so
let's get to yours.
My first suggestion is the hairy lobster, like Larry Lobster was a big character. He had that hairy chest, what I mean? Hairy lobster could be male fish dancers, you know what I mean?
It fits. And if it would be anybody that would be a male stripper in bikini bottom, it would be Larry the Lobster.
And coming now to the stage, ladies love him for his length, he's sharp, he's fast. It is Swordfish.
And then he just comes out meat spin, He's just flicking his ahi tuna jerky around. Yeah, buddy. Hydraulics. That's probably what fish have instead of the eggplant emoji. It's just like something that represents hydraulics. It's just a Mexican dude in front of an old car.
They got them hot rods.
Oh, buddy. Okay, what's your next one?
My next one would be the Talking Clan.
That's high quality.
That's
high quality
H2O.
Oh God, I'm sweating like a German at the Anne Frank house right now, dude. This is bad, but it's good for the soul. Okay, my next one. This is kind of the freebie.
Joke of the day. How do you fit 1,000 Jews into one car?
Put them in the ashtray.
Yes, sir.
Ding, ding, ding.
Anyway.
Oh, dog, we might get taken down for that one right there. If they see that.
It is what it is.
You know what? No one's watching this. And if they take it down, like,
That's a plus.
Yeah, that's publicity right there. That's how you get a buzz going. You just drop an N-bomb on live TV, just on the news or something like that. Like, let's get after it. Okay. But my next one is Sandy Cheeks. You know what I mean? Tropical sounding. It's the name of a character, and it could be like a strip club where you're like Sandy Cheeks. Like, it's probably on the beach.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Imagine that, a nice
beachfront strip joint. Oh man.
Might have to take my lady.
Yeah. I've never been to a strip club, but I imagine for people who like that kind of thing, it would be very good.
Into something like that.
Yeah. Whoever those people might be. Okay, your next one.
It's not any of us.
Come on. Yeah! We need to stop doing that.
Yeah. So, my next one would be Fish Dicks.
Fish Dicks, okay.
Which would probably be a male strip joint, considering that it has male genitalia in the name.
Hey. Don't assume the genders of the dancers.
We can't do that anymore, can we?
No. Because, there could be male or female fish with dicks. Mm-hmm. Because that's just the way things are now.
That's not how it works, but yeah.
I'm just talking here.
Who are we to say?
I mean, we're not even people, dude.
Probably not.
No, I wouldn't be.
I'd be surprised if we were.
Yeah, I think we were talking about it the other day, but like, I think there's a great possibility that you and I don't actually know each other. We're just in pods next to each other in the Matrix.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would be better.
I don't know.
Because then I could deny a lot of stuff.
Yeah. See, no, it'd be good for you because you'd still be bald when you woke up. You just wouldn't have your eyebrows, which is what you wanted to do originally.
Yeah.
When this guy first shaved his head, I walked past the bathroom. We lived at the same house at the time. And this guy's got shaving cream all over the top of his head and on his eyebrows. And he turns to me and he just goes, "It's all going. It's all going." Oh, God. But you know what? We got to make a Twitter page for this. And then I can upload that video because I still have that Snapchat.
Okay.
I still have that.
I'm down with that.
Yeah, if we don't get at least 100 views on this, I'm not making a Twitter because fuck you guys. If you guys aren't going to engage.
We got 100
Neither
views
am I.
on the first video.
Yeah.
But you guys just bailed on us for the second one. Which
Shout out to everybody who watched both.
Yeah,
you know?
whoever did, we can't really tell, but, you know.
I'll find out. I'm going to pay for that
yeah.
shit where you can see exactly who watches
Yeah.
and stuff.
We'll find out. So
Oh, yeah.
You guys better go watch the second video.
Yeah,
now.
if you just get cut off out of nowhere,
You know why.
you know why. Okay.
Was it you?
It's me now, yeah, because you just did fish
Fish
dicks.
dick. So what do you got?
I have Mrs. Puffs.
That sounds like a vape shop.
You know what I mean? It could double. It could be a vape strip
Vape
lounge.
stripper?
You know what I mean? Like, you know how you can't smoke or vape in a lot of places, like it's a strip club, but you can vape in there. You know what I mean? As long as you have an e-cig of some type, we're not gonna dictate what's in the tank. But if you have a vaporizer of some sort, let it go, dude. I think that would add some nice atmosphere. You know what I mean? Like,
100%.
fuck a
You
fog
don't need
machine.
a fog machine at that
fuck
point.
a fog machine. Know what I'm saying?
Keep your $200.
Yeah. I'm gonna drink out of 2 separate cups because, you know,
Because
I grew up in a low-income area.
Drinking out of cups.
Being a bitch. I bet a fisk. I bet a fiddlisk. Barnt. Patterscoon, patting the kid in the background, fucking going crazy. Just type in "drinking out of cups" on YouTube.
You'll find.
You will
some
not
good
be
stuff.
disappointed. Okay, what's your next one?
My next one is called Sponge Job.
Oh, that one is so good. Oh, that's such a good
You
one.
know,
Sponge Job.
See, it's
Yeah.
so close that.
Yeah. Sponge job, me boy.
Sponge Job, Mr. Krabs.
SpongeBob, me boy.
Sponge Joy, me Bob. But yeah, Sponge Job, because it could be like, you got.
It could be like a bathhouse.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
You know,
And they're
one of
just
them
they're professional bathers.
Sempukus or whatever it's called. It's a thing. What I said is a thing. It might not be what I'm talking about.
God, I feel like that might be the perfect title for our co-autobiography. I might not know what I'm talking about, but what I said is a thing. That might really be it. Okay.
Alright, what do you got?
My next one is Weenie Hut. Because in SpongeBob, they have Weenie Hut Jr., but, you know, they don't really talk about regular
No,
Weenie
that's
Hut.
Jeffrey Epstein's place.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, Junior.
No. It's former Senator Anthony Weiner's. Did you ever hear about that guy?
No, I don't keep up with politics.
No, this
my
was
man.
way a while ago. This was like right at the fucking jump of all the Me Too, like politicians getting exposed
Yeah,
shit.
I don't keep up.
This was
with
like
that.
2016, 2017. Anthony Weiner, I think he was either the governor of New York or he was like a New York senator or something like that. And his name is Anthony Weiner.
And he got popped for some wieners.
Yeah, like a bunch of these girls said he was sending them unsolicited dick pics, and it's like, dude, of all the fucking people, and then like there is the whole investigation, and they found out it was way more than even the girl who came forward.
Is that illegal to do?
Unsolicited dick
Like
pics?
just send
I think it's kind of in a gray area because it was with girls he was already chatting with.
I mean, but even like, say, like, I don't know, if we didn't really know each other and I had you on Instagram and I just sent you a picture of my butthole or my wiener, like,
Well, I bet now, yeah. Now I
You
could probably
think
get
so?
you locked up. You could probably get into some deep shit for that now. But back then, that was before even Bill Cosby had gone to trial. You know what I'm saying? So like the shit didn't have the heat that it has
I don't
now.
know, we'll look into that.
Yeah, we'll
just-
we'll come back with that. But yeah, Anthony Weiner,
Anywho's,
Weenie Hut Jr. Yeah, so
Weenie Hut.
yeah, Weenie Hut obviously would be male dancers.
Well,
know what I
what
mean?
happened to the don't assume my gender thing?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, me either.
Okay. What's your next one?
This is, I think, my final entry, which is squid ball testicles.
Yes, a very classy and tactful play on Squidward tentacles.
Yeah.
You know, because I feel like our Japanese audience out there, we should throw them a
Some of that tentacle stuff.
yeah.
but
We should
this is
we should
squid
throw
ball
them a gyoza.
testicles.
You know how like you know in American culture we have
A
like throw them a bone.
dumpling.
Like what do they have in Japan? Like throw them a lolly.
What, you don't think Japanese people have bones?
I just don't think they have the same sayings as we do.
I don't think anybody does.
Well, me and you no, but
I was talking about American humans.
no, there's well because all of our sayings are just from other places,
I guess.
except for like what happens in Las Vegas or New York. If you make it here, you can make it anywhere, which is 100% untrue.
No.
Like,
I think New York is the last place you want to make it. I think LA
well, I think
or
if you can
Hollywood-
make it in New York, there is nowhere else you can make it.
I think Hollywood would be the place, though, because that's where, if you make it in Hollywood...
No, but see, even that's too easy. It can't be in a coastal area because that's where everything's bopping and happening. It's too easy to make it out there because everyone's making it out. Even the homeless people have fucking acting jobs. You know what I'm saying? Where, they say if you can make it anywhere, move to fucking Dagestan, dude. Go moving with Khabib and those other dudes.
I think they're trying to keep it North American.
Well, I mean, yeah, then you just shouldn't say that. You just shouldn't use that saying. Like, oh, well, yeah, fucking Havre de Grace, Maryland.
Or you should say that.
Say that.
You know who you are.
Shout out
You're gonna
Caesar.
Watch it.
You should give head. You should do it. Just, grow up. Anyway, I think I have one
Think you
more.
got your last
Oh yeah,
one?
mine. I just remembered off the top of my head. Mine was the cum bucket because you have the chum bucket,
That's good.
but
That's good.
the chum bucket is for some guys who are looking for something edgy. But the real sick fucks who really want to see some shit. They want to go see like an amputee stripper who's
Yeah.
pregnant or something like that. Some weird
Cum
fetish
bucket.
cross section. You're going to the cum bucket. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? No filter. No filter. You know what we're about as soon as you walk in the
Yeah.
door. Be like, you smell that? That's anal cavity.
That's like going
know what
to
I mean?
Saigon.
That's not poop. That's rectum. You know what I'm saying?
It's exposed.
That's a medical smell you're
Yeah.
smelling. You know what I mean? Like the most people who smell this are doctors. We're getting after it up in here. You know what I'm saying? That was one of my favorite missions in Saints Row 3 is you have to rescue this guy named Zemos, who is a pimp that is friends with the gang or whatever, and you find him in this 5-story whorehouse that it's like something out of 50 Shades of Grey. Like there's only red and deep purple
Never
lights.
seen that movie.
And oh dog, it's horrible.
I bet. I've heard.
The book is way better because
I don't read, though.
they get real descriptive with. They have the audiobooks.
I don't listen. I listen. I don't read.
Hope you listen to this fucking podcast.
I might. I was thinking about it.
I've listened to most of the second one.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel obnoxious listening to myself talk.
I do, but I've learned at first when I used to hear my like making music and stuff. You know how that weird feeling is hearing yourself on.
Yeah,
stuff.
hearing your own voice is always weird.
But now, since I've been doing music for so long, hearing myself isn't weird anymore. It's like I kind of set it aside from. I know it's myself, but it's like listening to somebody else. Like I can pick.
I hate absolutely how I sound on recordings. Like my voice as I'm hearing it as I talk, I like it. I actually do it in a way that sounds the way I like, which I'm sure everyone does. But then when I hear myself on playback, God, it's horrible.
What I've learned
never
is
want
that
to talk again.
when I'm doing music, I sound a lot different from like when I regularly talk. But when I talk, I sound a lot more. I almost sound drunk all the time, even when I'm not drunk. Like I have this weird, goofy slur to my voice. I've noticed.
No, you just don't put enough effort into talking because you're a doer. You're not much of a talker. Like you and I talk a lot, and people would consider you a talkative person, but like I know you better than anyone, and you're not much of a talker. Like
Unless
at work,
really
or like even if we're
though.
doing something, like a lot of times we communicate pretty non-verbally. Or I'll just talk, or you'll make a motion, and I'll be like, and you're like, I'm like, okay.
Yeah, that's true. I'm pretty. Yeah. I'm not very talkative, or I'm pretty outgoing, but in a non-verbal way, which is.
Yeah, you're like a fucking street unicorn like that.
Thanks.
You know what I mean?
Appreciate that.
Dog, you should get that tattooed or like put that on your car or something.
Street unicorn.
Yo, I'm a fucking street unicorn, bro. That was one of my favorite Rob Dyrdek lines from Ridiculousness. There was a video of a guy in a gorilla suit who was like running through a gate, like an electric gate that was closing, and it fucking nagged him, and he just biffed it super hard, and he said, "You have an aggressive street gorilla and a fucking ice cream truck with no windows," and the aggressive street gorilla just fucking got me, dude. Like just those two adjectives attached onto the word gorilla fucking tickled me super good.
You know that girl, Chantel West Coast or East?
Chantel
Chantel
West
East Coast.
Yeah, she's Gucci Southeast.
Yeah. Anyways, so me and Rika seen her on something, and Rika's like, "How did she even get famous?" And I was like, "I wonder." So I looked it up, and it was literally, she was friends with one of Rob Dyrdek's, and when he started the show, he probably was fucking her, so he was like, "Yeah, you're gonna be on my show."
I felt like he wanted to, and he hadn't yet, and he was like, "Oh, you'll be the fucking receptionist at the Fantasy Factory," which that whole job is just...
Well, for sure him and that, whatever that black guy's name is.
Stilo?
Yeah, because he laughs
Sterling?
at everything she says. She's not funny.
Dog, neither of them are.
All three of them are not funny.
I used to love Rob a lot. And
I
then,
like him
in
as
the
a
last...
skater.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
not a comedian.
No.
At all.
No. I respect his hustle, though. I mean, he started the street league.
Yeah.
The professional skateboarding league. He founded the whole thing.
I mean, he's a good guy.
And he also did the safe spot skate spot thing. Where
Shout out Big Black, too.
Yo, rest in peace,
Yeah.
Big Black, dude. That was one of the few celebrity deaths that I felt,
That one hit.
I watched Robin Big. I was a big skateboarder until
That
sophomore year of high school.
Like, I was never into skating like physically as a person. I was more into BMX. I couldn't really skate.
Similar cultures.
It's the same, but I played skate a lot. And when you could have Big Black as your bodyguard, fucking busting them security
guards up, dog.
It was like, oh yeah, and then
dog, Cam Chancellor hit sticking security guards, bro.
Oh man,
dog,
it was like Vince Wilfork.
Like outside of a JC Penney, dude.
Wilfork, bro.
Dude, he was Vince Wilfork.
It might have been the same guy.
Yeah, he might have just been Vince Wilfork, or no, he was Big Black.
Vince Wilfork.
Big Black was like, all this stuff is cool, but I'm getting these calls from NFL teams, and they want me to play D-line. He's like, I don't know, I can't just be Big Black, so he just put on Forrest Whitaker face.
Yeah.
And you know how Big Black always had that fucking squint.
That's just called a heart. He just had permanent heart attack.
Yeah, he was just having a stroke at
All
all
the
times. Bro had like fucking 12 bypasses. They had to fucking install like a moose heart because it was the only thing big enough. Everything else got clogged.
They put a fucking
Like
semi
he's talking to Rob. He's talking to Rob. He's like, yeah, I gotta go in again next week, dog. You know what I'm saying? Horse wasn't big enough. They gotta fucking put in moose, dog. Like, fuck, am I Canadian now?
He was like, man, I gotta change my birth certificate and all this shit.
Yeah, dude. Like it's like under gender, it says M, and then species it says M again for moose.
M again. It says M
There's
again.
M and M.
No, M again.
Oh yeah, dude. Okay,
Alright.
so we were gonna do a tutorial of how to do a cocktail that I came up with myself a couple months ago.
You can
but
run through it.
I would rather just tell you guys. You know, right now we're just drinking that spice rum and soda. You know, really kicking it.
Classy.
But I'm a big fan of scotches, and I most of the time will mix it with a diet soda of some sort, you know, whatever's on sale at Long's.
Reasonable.
Yeah, and there was this one time I ran out and all we had was Pog, and you know I was really like, I was like 3 drinks in, and 3 drinks in, you're feeling it. You don't want to stop drinking. You know what I mean? Like, that's just like, oh hey, let's see what a hangover's like when you're still awake. You know, you didn't sleep yet. So I was like, fuck that. I'm still going to drink the scotch, but I got to mix it with something. And I'm like, I could chase it with the Pog, but it's like, I want to play games, you know. I do stuff. I'm playing bass at night.
Yeah.
You know, I can't just be sitting there, you know, fucking double fisting. I just got to have one thing that I sip on, you know, as I'm doing whatever I'm doing.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, fuck it. You know, at the very worst, it's going to mask the burn of the scotch. Like, it might not taste great, but whatever, you know. I'm trying to get drunk.
You're already
I'm trying to get
buzzed,
drunk
so it
right
don't
now.
matter.
Yeah, and mixed it up, fire, dude. Would not all expect peat and smoke to mix so well with passion orange guava. It just tastes like Pog, but with like it tastes like adult Pog. You know what I'm saying? Like, it would just come in a bottle instead of the carton or the the plastic jug, and it's just, you know, big boy Pog.
Like one of them hypnotic bottles.
Pog Uncle blend, you know. Some of that action, and it was actually really good, so I decided to name it a Dirty Sunrise.
Fun fact too, my nephews that are here and my 5-year-old daughter, they call it alcohol, not alcohol.
That's fucking awesome, dude.
So they're like, "Are you drinking alcohol?" And I'm like,
Alcohol.
100%.
Yeah, dog, this is alcohol. I feel like, you know, like so many people around the world, in America especially, are like afraid of becoming seen as older adults. You know what I mean? Like, seen as like parents or grandparents or like old men, or
But
you know,
that's the
like
thing here.
getting called ma'am or sir. But like when you're from Hawaii, you know, when you grow up
thing,
island
you
style,
become
cuz
uncle.
when you're a kid, all you like be is you like be one hammer uncle. You know what I mean?
Uncle Hammer.
You get the solid, huge beer belly, cuz like perfectly round, look like you're 3 months
and it's
pregnant
solid,
with 4
dude.
kids.
It's like Schindler
Rock solid,
Block.
but you get the fucking arms and the traps in the chest, cuz you just stay so yoked up top. And you know, you get the shades that you never take off. And if you ever see a real uncle with his shades off, it's frightening. You know how white their eyes are compared to everything else, because they haven't taken off them Oakleys since fucking 2003.
Sleep with them.
Yeah, I mean, I bet they would. I bet they do. And I want to get to that point where I just them that don't give a fuck.
Don't matter.
Dog, just yellow toenails, long yellow toenails, cuz.
The back of your heel looks like fucking Mauna Kea.
Shout out Mauni,
The mountain
dog.
or the person.
Both. You know what I'm saying? Like, he be looking rough sometimes.
Sometimes he's like, did you just come out of the Alawai Canal? Or
Bro, you look like a forest after a storm, dog, most of the day.
Let's roast them right now.
Dog, okay, so shout out Mauna Kea with them with that fucking ginger briar patch pubes,
Bro.
dog. Like, nobody has sent more pubes to the group chat than this dude, and he's just got...
He just rips them out.
Dog, he's just got fucking spaghetti in his pants, dude. You know what I mean?
Linguini.
Bro, it's just like, dog, what do you...
Ravioli.
Even Jeremy, shout out Ginger, does
He's
not
a
have...
ginger, but
His pubes just aren't that wiry. Like, why does he have, like, wiry rat ass hair pubes, you know? It's just,
it's
like...
amazing.
They're, like, 3D on the camera or something. Yeah, and then also, shout out to Kenny K for giving me one of the funniest moments ever, seeing this dude trying to skate home drunk one time.
Mind if I fill up a little bit with you?
Oh, dog, freeze your
Black
berry.
wood?
You know what I mean?
I
Get
appreciate
after it.
that.
100%. It's a slide over. Yeah.
What, you think I don't know how to work?
I know you don't know. You got it today, and you've been out of the game for a
He was
bit.
right.
But that one's actually better because you have to really, like, get that pressure on that top point to press it over.
And there's
Whereas
like,
this one, this button will open in my pocket.
there's no way that this is gonna break. Like,
Yeah, look at the fucking reinforcement around the coil, dude.
dude, it's
It's got studs.
4mm by 4mm, baby.
Yeah, buddy.
All right. So, you got any paranormal encounters?
Do I have any paranormal encounters? That's a bad question. It's do we? Because I've had several, but you've been with me for most of them.
We have.
I want to run down the most notable one, which was that vape, that red box vape.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
Alright.
believe it if you want to or not. But
I
I think
this-
paranormal shit really does happen, and
I do.
we personally have had it happen to us, you know, recently in the past decade or so.
So I had this Sigeli vape that was the same color as that. You know, that same shit.
Yeah, it was just this red box mod.
all red. It was a really older version.
Like first
you know.
generation, the kind like with the back that the whole
The whole
fucking
back.
side comes off, and they have that little fucking vinyl ribbon
Yeah,
to take the batteries out. You had to snake it through the batteries to
yeah.
pop them out.
So I had that for a long time.
A minute, yeah.
Years. And then
It moves to the cabinet after you guys got the S10s, the Skelly
well, what
S10s.
happened was the battery would stop. It stopped
wouldn't
working,
fire.
and then it would get
The
stuck.
button was sticky.
It would get stuck, so I'd press it, and it would just keep going. So I'd have to pop the batteries out every time I wanted to hit it, like, you know. So then I was like, "Fuck it, let me just get a new one." Got the new one, and then I guess something happened to that, so I went back to it, and so I took off the button, cleaned it out, and it was working good for a while. Then it started getting stuck again.
Yeah, and then we fixed the button. Because I remember
Yeah.
me, you, and the other guy, me, you, and that third
Lloyd.
guy, me, you, and Lloyd, opened it up. We got, like, behind the circuit board and everything like that.
we
and
was in there.
We put some Goo Gone in there.
We detailed
And
it.
that fixed it. The button was fine. And then he ended up getting a new one, and I hadn't had my own yet, so I started using that one. And it would click fine. Like, the button's action was perfect, but it would fire on its own every now and then.
Even you're not pressing the button, that shit would just start.
Sitting on the table just like that, and you just see smoke start coming out. And for those of you who don't vape, if there's no air flowing through it, it's gonna burn your heating element real bad, and you know it's gonna ruin the thing, and you're gonna have to change shit out. So you know that's bad. So you gotta pop the batteries out every time.
Yeah.
And after like 2 days of this, I'm like, fuck this, I'm not using it. So we take the batteries out, but the tank was still on it. And then one day it fired on its own with no batteries
in it. That's
with no
right.
batteries. And now there are two 18650 like 34 volt batteries that it takes to power this. These are pretty strong batteries. He's gonna show you some. These aren't just like AA batteries.
So you see how these are? I take them out, right? And this isn't gonna work if I take them out. But
put them back in. It's
put 'em
like
back
this.
in.
They work. See that? See that vapor? But it would just do that on its own.
And that was real fucked up. So we're like, we're not using this thing at all anymore. And it sat in the cabinet for a few days. And then our friend Noah, shout out Noah, we gave it to him because he was real into vaping at the time. And he told us something super fucking crazy that happened
So what
the
had
day we
happened
gave it to him.
was
The day we gave it to him.
he wanted an extra one, so he took it, and he had
We were
a
like,
car.
get rid of that shit. We don't
He
want
wanted
it.
but we were like, dude, just get rid of it. But he had a. It wasn't a new car, but it was a working, functional car. He had it for a couple months. It was fine, and so he started. He lived like 2 minutes down the road from us. And as he's driving down the road, he said his car completely shut off. Everything went out.
Engine
And
turned off.
Engine
The
turned
radio
off, battery-
presets reset.
Yeah.
It like factory reset the
Yeah.
car.
And so he pulls over
Right
on
in
the
front of
side.
Zippy's on Fort Weaver.
He pulls over on the side, whatever, like what the fuck happened. He turns off the car, starts it up, and it starts fine. No problems. He starts going again, boom, shuts down again. And he called us, and we're like, dude, get rid of that fucking mod. It's haunted.
Yep.
He tosses it out the window, starts up the car, gone. His life is good.
Yeah.
You know, nothing ever comes
Yeah.
of it. But it's like, explain that.
Yeah, you can't
Weird
discount
shit
that.
was happening.
That's
to us.
paranormal.
We was like, get it out of here. He took it in his perfectly good car, shuts down, factory reset. I don't know how you factory reset a car.
You know what I'm
But he
saying?
did
Like,
it.
even if you change the battery out, the radio presets get saved. So how did
Yeah.
that shit get reset? And like a car that's running, it's not like they were stopped or anything like that. Like the car was moving and then just, turned off.
Turned off
The
everything.
motor turned off.
Yeah.
He said the key was like in the
It was
off
on.
position, but the car's
Yeah.
rolling in neutral, I guess. You know, or in drive with without the
Yeah.
car on, like basically stalled out.
Yeah, you can't stall,
Stall out an
an
automatic? You know what I'm saying? An automatic, what, like a fucking Camry, like a
It
old
was
Camry.
like a Camry.
It was a Camry or older Corolla, because those looked the fucking exact
Yeah,
same back
it's
in the
the
day.
same
Then
thing.
the early 2000s, late 90s ones
Yeah.
looked exactly the same.
But
Yo,
yeah,
fuck,
so
fuck
that's-
whoever designed the Pontiac Aztec. That's one of the ugliest cars ever. That's the car that Walter White had in Breaking Bad.
Yeah.
And it's like, there was no point in which that would have been a cool looking car. So why the fuck did that get made? Why do so
Hey.
many people have that?
Why did
You
a
know?
Prius get made?
Well, the Prius doesn't look as bad as the Aztec, and the Prius isn't about the looks. The Prius is about, the fuel efficiency, the
Yeah,
eco-friendliness.
But the thing is, you could have made it look however you wanted it to.
Yeah,
You
I know,
made it
but if
look
they made it look like a
that-
sports car, people wouldn't have believed that it was as fuel efficient as it is.
Oh my god.
What? It's true.
It's maybe.
What do you fucking mean, maybe? 100%.
If the facts are there, what does it matter? You know,
Because
if it looks like
people-
a sports car
People
or a
do not
fucking...
look at the fucking facts, dude. That's why Louis C.K. got fucking blackballed in comedy, is because people don't look at the facts. People looked at the stat line, he made certain people uncomfortable after the fact. But if you look at the facts, what he did was he jerked off in front of fellow female comedians with consent. He
They
asked
said
first.
it was okay.
He asked first, and as comedians, they're like, oh, okay, what, is he really going to jerk off in front of us? Let's see this. And he did. And they were like, okay, that made me uncomfortable, but I told him he could. Regret is not rape. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? You can't rescind consent
I
after
agree.
the fact.
You said do it, and he did it, and then you're like, oh, he called your
Yeah.
bluff, and then
And
you're
it's not
oh,
like they were
fuck.
drunk or anything. They're working, They're in the green room at a comedy show. They're on point. Maybe they're about to go on stage.
Yeah,
Maybe they just got off stage. You know what I'm saying?
it's
Like-
it's ill.
Now,
That's a
I admit,
messed up situation.
It's a creepy thing to do. I'm not
Yeah,
going to say
but-
it wasn't a creeper move,
Yeah,
but it's like
if he got
they said yes.
the okay, then it's like
They said yes.
they're grown women.
Yeah, and it's
women.
like, does this guy, who's one of the most respected comics ever, big person in pop culture, had his own, series on FX just about his own life and stuff like that, and all that gets taken away. This guy is a father of 2 daughters.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? He's a hashtag girl dad.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So do you think he's
Shout
really
out.
out here doing things that harm women?
Shout out to myself.
Yeah. Bonzo is also a girl dad.
Yeah, but see, I don't do stuff like that. But
You know what I'm saying?
It's
But
like-
you, as a girl dad, I mean, yeah, you wouldn't have done that, but
it
he didn't do anything wrong.
It has nothing to do with he's not out there like raping
And even if
girls
it was weird, he doesn't deserve to lose business and have
No,
his
because-
career destroyed.
it's not like he was just roaming the streets like jerking off
Yeah.
onto people's
He didn't just
backs.
walk into the green room and whip
Like,
it out.
Yeah,
You know that if he did that,
he literally told them like,
he said, "Hey, is it okay if I jerk off in front of you?" And they're like,
yeah,
"Yeah." And then
And
he
he
did it,
did.
and they're like, "Oh shit, he did it."
and then they
And
got
then
all
what? 20 years later, they're like,
yeah,
"He assaulted me.
yeah.
He
Fuck
hurt
outta
me."
here.
Fucking come on, dude. Come
I'm
on,
not-
dude.
I'm not with that. If something really happened, I'm with you girls. You know, if
Not just girls, anybody who
I mean,
anything happens to.
yeah, anybody. If
You know?
something happened, I'm with you. And it's not okay for people to
Do things
to,
like that.
To do things like that, you shouldn't have to go
Yeah.
through that. If you did, I'm sorry. You know.
Yeah, but I'm of the opinion that I think especially adults, if something happens to you underage, however
It's,
it gets handled, I just hope it gets handled and, justice is
Mm-hmm.
brought. But if you're a grown person and you get put in a situation like that where you're not being forced to do something physically and, you really could walk away from it and not have it happen and it still happens to you, or even if someone's like harassing you in the workplace, the whole movement now is that you don't have to stand up for yourself. If someone makes you uncomfortable in the slightest, you can go to HR and that person gets fired. And I think that's a horrible way to handle things because that's how shit happened in middle school and elementary school.
I mean, yeah, it's,
We're fucking
it's-
grown-ups. You don't get in trouble as a grown-up unless you get in trouble with the law.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Making someone uncomfortable, while not a cool thing to do, and we should get people to stop doing it, is not illegal. It's not a crime.
Yeah.
Yeah, and as an adult, you, I believe, have to be responsible for yourself. I think personal responsibility is one of the most important things that any adult person can have. And now, I was raised 100% by women. My mom, my grandmother, my aunt. Bonzo's mother was also a mom to me in a very large capacity. And I have the utmost respect for women. And having that utmost respect, I expect a lot of women because I expect a lot of myself and other men as well. I expect a lot of everyone.
Yeah.
I think, all as human beings can all rise to a pretty high caliber of life. And if you don't, that's a decision you're making personally. And circling back to what we were actually talking about, I think you should stand up for yourself. I think if someone's making you uncomfortable in the workplace, you have 100% every right to be comfortable at work. If someone is doing something that makes you uncomfortable at work, I really don't see any reason that shouldn't be immediately stopped. Whether by administration or interpersonally. And that's another thing too. Ladies out there, find your voice. Use your voice. You have it. If someone is making you uncomfortable in the workplace or in public or anywhere, voice that.
Yeah.
Speak
Get
up for
it out,
yourself.
you
You
know?
can do it. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Nothing deters predators more than a confident target. Because most of the people who get targeted, these predators see them as an easy target. They don't go for a challenge.
What they're looking for is fear in people. So it's like, when
They thrive off
they come in all hot, and if you get scared and back down, then it's like, they can charge. But if you stand up, then you just called their bluff and they don't know what the fuck to do.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of the times they'll back off. And if they don't, call for help, run, scream, fight dirty. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If I had a daughter, I would 100% expect and force her to take jiu-jitsu classes from the earliest age possible. Learn, or just whatever type of self-defense.
My daughters are gonna, for sure, get
As a
into
woman,
self-defense.
There's no excuse in this day and age not to know how to defend yourself, especially with how many people do get attacked and people do get assaulted nowadays. Watch your fucking back. I mean, guys, we have the privilege, and I'll say this is one of the female privileges of not really having to worry about something like that. And that's something...
Most guys can hold their own. I mean, guys like us, we're not small guys. He's obviously a lot larger than me.
Me and Bonzo will fuck somebody up, dude.
That's not
A
to
couple
say-
somebodies.
Yeah.
You could send like 3-4 people at us, and I'm pretty sure they would get fucking handled.
Yeah.
And if anybody
But-
wants to try, fucking 99
You know,
never
that's-
mind Kelly Ave Drive.
I don't know, jeans. I wasn't always 210 pounds, but
I wasn't always 315 pounds.
you know, we were always pretty on the larger side.
Yeah,
You know.
we could fucking handle ourselves, but you know, a lot of women physically wouldn't be able to. But if I can tell you this, learning Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, there are a bunch of
Any
places
kind
everywhere.
Of self-defense.
You
would
can even
help.
learn online. 100% every woman out there should be practicing some kind of self-defense and, you know, have something on them, maybe some mace, pepper spray,
That's one of the things I was
a
going to
knife,
say. Is
a
that
gun.
my
Ladies,
daughters
get strapped.
are not only going to have physical combat training, but they're going to have weapons combat, and they're going to have weapons on them.
Self-defense,
like-
you know what I mean? You got to protect your neck out there.
Girls are 90% of the time smaller than males. It's just how life is.
Mhm.
So, you know, even if you get the biggest girl against the smallest guy,
That guy's got an edge.
the guy's got an edge because he's a male with that testosterone and with that kind of stuff.
Mhm.
But if you give that girl
The right
self-defense training and a weapon, that guy's toast.
You know what, too?
That
She's
guy's
got the element of
toast.
surprise, too. That guy's not going to expect her to know what
Not
to
at
do.
all.
So, ladies, if you're out there, especially smaller, you know, more petite-built ladies, go out there, go get yourself into a jiu-jitsu class. You know what I'm saying?
100%.
I trained jiu-jitsu for a long time. I wrestled from a very early age. Grappling has been a big part of my life. And one of the biggest lessons I learned was not to underestimate a woman who knows what she's doing. Shout out jiu-jitsu black belt under Luis Heredia.
I gotta take a wizard. Real bad, but you can keep going. I can hear you.
Yeah, her name is Lori Brazanis. I think she trains out in SoCal now. Oh no, I think she's from Oakland Bay Area, so NorCal. But shout out to her. Lori taught me some very, very important lessons about not underestimating your opponents and also just not underestimating a small person specifically, because she's quite a smaller woman, but man, she outclassed me every time we rolled together. And you know, I've never been someone to look down on women, but I didn't expect someone with her frame to be able to manhandle me the way she did. And that, I think, just shows testament. I'm a big, strong guy. I was a wrestler. I played football. I played rugby, and I trained jiu-jitsu. And a woman who really knows what she's doing in grappling or self-defense is going to be able to fight me off or even incapacitate me every time. So, ladies, you know, get out there. Even if you don't want to go, you know, right now we got COVID going on. You know what I'm saying? They have distance learning things you can practice at home with your kids. You can buy dummies online. If you got a boyfriend, you got a husband, help him train with you. You know what I mean?
That's something funny to add on to that. I just thought about. I don't know exactly how old my dad was, but I remember telling he was probably about my size now. I'm a little bit taller than him. I'm about
You got about the
6'2".
same
But-
density though.
He's like about 6 feet, 6'1".
I feel like your dad and your older brother probably had similar body types at the same age.
Yeah, 100%.
Because I've seen younger pictures of your dad, and like
Yeah.
it looks like you and what's his Escobango name? Beanzo. Yeah.
Beanzo.
Yeah, you and Beanzo, I feel like have similar builds. You're obviously a bit bigger.
Yeah, I'm
You're a bit
like
more thick set.
thicker than him, but
But
anyways.
he's got them fucking La Cienega feet though.
Yeah.
Yo, shout out Beanzo Escobango at Umag the Squid God on YouTube, YouTube and Twitch. The day one homie.
But anyways, so my dad, he was at like LCC or something. It must have been real early, because if I remember it correctly, he was going to school for his mechanic, his aircraft mechanic stuff. And he took weightlifting. I guess they had weightlifting there.
I took yoga in college.
And so he said that his trainer was this female lady, probably about 5'4", something like that. Real small lady, real petite, but well built, because she's obviously a weight training person. But my dad is 6 feet, 6'1", 200 pounds, and he said that his, her warm up weight on the bench press was his max weight.
Ooh.
And so, my dad told me that story. He's like, I felt like such a little,
Yeah.
because her warm up was his max. And he said she would just fucking rep it,
Dude, the people who are the strongest in the world, not like world's strongest man, but you go to like the Olympic weightlifting, people who medal at every Olympics, every, big event.
Yeah.
They never look too ticked out. Like they're in shape, obviously, but like Ilyan, I think, is a Middle Eastern or Eastern European weightlifter, and he's like probably the pound for pound strongest person on the planet. But he fucking looks like me, dude. He's just got the fucking gut, and like his arms and legs are big. Like it looked like he used to work out and be real strong, and then he stopped, like I did. But this dude is just like fucking clean and snatching 550 pounds, dude.
I just thought about
throwing it over his fucking head.
I don't know if you heard or seen, but Uncle Rick. You obviously know Uncle Rick. He's been in the hospital. He had a heart attack.
No fucking way! I didn't hear about that.
Though.
He's all right though.
He's all right, but he had a heart attack. He didn't know it though. He said he was just having like heartburn feelings, and he thought whatever. But he just went to the doctor, and he was having a heart attack.
Fuck, that worries me, dude. Because shout out Uncle Rick, Rick, Animal House Gym, Eva Beach, Papipi Road. You know what I'm saying? Right up on Howbush.
Yeah.
Right up on Howbush. Shout out to Uncle Rick. He's given a safe place to go work out and stay out of trouble. Train to fight. Oh. Train Kylan Karan, and a bunch of other very notable fighters.
Yeah.
And an institution on the south side of Oahu, really, in popular culture and in the community.
It kept a lot of troubled youth, such as myself.
Me
I
too.
went there at an early age. He trained me how to fight, and the first thing that he told me and Beanzo when we first went there was, "You're not a street fighter. Anybody can be a street fighter. With me teaching you this stuff, you're not a street fighter. If you gotta do what you gotta do on the street, do what you gotta do, but don't be out there picking fights."
Yeah.
So he taught us that with a lot of humility, a lot of self-respect for himself, and he taught us how to fight. And he said, don't be using it out there like, oh, I can fight, calling people out. So he taught me from an early age that's not, because I did want to do that. I was that asshole. I'm not gonna lie.
I think
I
all guys, we've been there.
We've
been there.
Guy
You know what
where
I
I
mean?
was like, I'll fuck you up, kind of thing.
Dog, when I was in college, that's one of the reasons I left, is I was becoming a person I really didn't like to be. I'm getting fucking trash drunk every night, going out to parties, just trying to start fights with people, just being rude to people, because I'm a bigger guy, and
like,
one of the things that's
know?
always pissed me off is I've never once witnessed my friends getting fucked with, but I've heard countless stories about it, and it's always when I'm not there. Like even me and my friend T, we're out drinking with Willie D, and I go to the bathroom. I come back, and he said there's this drunk guy teabagging our table and talking shit to us. Like luckily he went away, but like he was really fucking with us, and I'm like, fuck, dude, I went to the bathroom for 5 minutes, and that pisses me off because it's like, fuck, I wish a motherfucker would in front of me, Just keep that same energy, but people don't, and that's always really bothered me. But I've never been the type to pick fights. I would much rather have everybody just have fun and have a great night. I think it's a much better time when everyone has a good time.
Yeah, I'll tell you, at one point in my life when I was younger, I was that guy to pick a fight, and I was that asshole, and it was me and my good friend who would do it. We were the assholes. Everybody knew us, everybody seen us and they're like, oh fuck, it was that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And it wasn't, we did that for a couple of years, and then it was like, we started to think to ourselves, like, why are we doing this, What good is this doing for us or for them?
I remember that day, remember? We said, let's be the good guys.
Yeah. And it was like, why are we making other people's lives bad? We had it hard too. It wasn't, like a fucking, wasn't given to us. We had our own struggles, but at the same time, we didn't know what was going on with everybody else too. We didn't know. So I was like, whatever.
No, I definitely feel that, like, 2-3 years ago, we were both in a place where, I feel like we were both pretty happy in the sense that, like, getting to live with your best friend is always a pretty dope thing. But, we both had jobs. We were finally adults. A lot of the things that made life shitty for us as younger men was gone. But, you get to a certain point after a while of that where you're like, well, why am I doing all this stuff? Why am I getting drunk every night? Why am I doing drugs? And it's because it's fun, and it's because you don't want to know your life. You're just out of high school and you're working a fucking job, dude.
Yeah, you don't really
I was
know
fucking
what
working
you're
at
doing.
Ross for a minute. You were flipping burgers. You were delivering fucking chicken katsu. You know what I'm saying? Like, that shit fucking sucked, dude. That's not, like, that ain't no work for no human being.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And after a while, you get to a point where you're like, shit, I just don't want to do this anymore. And I think in both of our cases, we kind of were on the fence still about it when we started to form our current families. Like, we still had a couple months of, trying to shake it off. But
definitely, like,
I feel like those years, between 2015 and 2018, were super valuable to our lives now because we were able to get our wiggles out. So many guys have a midlife crisis. My dad had one. My dad went from a Chrysler 300 to like a 911, dude. Like
Porsche,
just one
right?
day. Yeah, just one day. And now he's toned down. Now he has like a Cayenne or like a Macan or something. Like he has a dad Porsche, but he stayed bougie. But I feel like a lot of people, they get married or they have kids right out of high school, and they have families and they're good for like 10-15 years, but as soon as the kids get older, maybe the kids are grown up, they freak out, they feel closed in, they feel like they missed out on opportunities and experiences, and then that's when they act out. That's when they get the fucking convertible. That's when they get the second family.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I feel like we're very fortunate to have those years,
all that shit.
Have like 2 or 3 years to be adults, and make all those dumbass adult mistakes, be a fucking shitty employee and never show up to work sober, and try to every day find a way out to go home early, and waste all your money on drugs and alcohol and stupid stuff.
100%.
And I feel like
we got it out early.
Yeah, our families came along at the exact right time that 100%. We're like, you know what? I feel like we've done enough.
We're getting our shit together.
Our shit is together now.
Dude.
Now, dude. We're down pat. We're solid right now.
My wife just got locked out the back door.
Oh, that's great.
Fuck.
I really hope that read.
It does.
I mean, if the phone picked up that, that
It
moaning
did.
both times.
Did you hear it this one?
Oh, I think it was. Were we recording already when that happened?
This one we caught it. It was right in the beginning though.
Okay, awesome. But yeah, to all the young men out there between the ages of like 18 and like 22. Like, don't try to rush into life. If life comes at you and you end up having a family and having to step up to the plate, that's not a bad thing.
That's
like,
a
good thing.
Don't worry, because I'll tell you the truth. A year ago, I would have never thought I would have been here. And this isn't some kind of fucking preacher's kind of story. I'm telling you the straight up truth.
Straight facts.
If you're young,
show me the Carfax,
and you don't got a kid to worry about, and you only got yourself to worry about, or even if he's like you're taking care of your family kind of thing, have fun now.
Have your fun.
Cause we had our fun and we got that shit over with, and now we're.
And
good.
I'm so happy. You know, we used to be such social people. We were going out all the time. We were going out places. We was always having people over, always partying, always drinking, always going. You know, we were always doing something. You know, and now I don't want to do anything. Oh God, dude.
I want to stay home with my family.
You know what I'm saying? Like Saturday
Nothing
afternoon,
is better
Sunday.
than that. Nothing is better than that. Than getting off of work Friday night and being like, oh,
I don't have to wake
I
up
got
early tomorrow.
Saturday and Sunday with my family.
I'm gonna sleep my ass in
But
tomorrow.
see, the thing about
but
me is I don't sleep in.
I still wake up early, but that's so I can play games before anybody wakes
See,
up.
I wake up early, but I could see Saturday and Sunday is my breakfast thing. So I fucking whip up a breakfast
in the kitchen,
and
yeah,
they love that shit.
Yeah.
So usually Saturday morning is straight bacon. I cook about 4 or 5 packs of bacon, eggs, and some rice, and that's
all you need, baby.
I put whatever eggs you want.
That's all
I'll
you
put
need,
that shit
baby.
on that rice, and you got the bacon. Okay, but Sunday is my specialty. I learned this from my dad, which is that French toast.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna be sharing the secrets out there with you guys.
Hey,
But
I have a whole
killer
bowl
French
of that
toast.
that mix, that Chex Mix. I just gotta cook it now.
I'll
I got a
make
whole
you,
bowl in the fridge.
you haven't ate my French toast.
And you haven't had a container of my mom. Shout out, Mom. She's been watching.
Shout out Auntie Amy. I know you're gonna see this.
Hey.
Love you.
Yo, dude, after the last episode, she texted me and she was like, you guys were so funny together. And she goes, ... Why the hell haven't I ever met Pono? And I'm like, it's been a long string of just...
I believe we met briefly.
Really? When?
I might be thinking this in my mind because
When,
you
dude,
know how my
'cause-
memory is. Was she at your graduation?
No.
Okay, then I just made that
She
shit.
didn't come. She didn't come because my fucking dad made.
I made that shit
real
up
shitty.
in my head then.
Yeah. So my mom lives on Maui. We lived on Oahu. My mom only ever came over to Oahu like when I was having like playoff or like homecoming game for football. Her and my grandpa will fly over. Shout out Gramps. Hope you're not greened out this time.
There we go.
But she would come over for stuff like that, like OIA championships, state championships for wrestling.
Yeah.
She'd show up and come. But you didn't wrestle. And a wrestling tournament is not necessarily like, it's not a football game. Like if your friend's playing, you don't just go watch because it's all day.
It's a whole thing.
It's all day. State championships is a 40 to 50 hour operation. You know what I'm saying? Like it's 2 full days, sometimes 3, and that just makes it shitty for people who aren't super into the wrestling community to go to. But, those are the type of things she would come to. And then I had, like, a football game. It's like, what, are you going to go fucking sit by my mom? Like, no, you're in high school, too. You're going to go sit with your friends.
Yeah.
With the squad, So I feel like it's just been a bunch of...
It's either that I was in the stands or I was on the field, too.
Yeah. Like, the opportunity
I was either
wasn't really
there at the game, playing the game, or
And it's funny because she's known who you are for a long time because we've been such good friends for such a while, but... It's just you just always been a name that I say in front of her.
You know what? Come to think about it, I guess it was just in my mind that we met. But
You'll meet her at the wedding for sure.
I know, dude. Like, of course I'm gonna meet her.
Yeah, and she was like, "Oh, I gotta meet him. Like you two are so funny together."
And your little sister, man. That's my niece.
I mean, yeah. Fuck, they were just here too, but we were doing...
I know it was...
My cousin, I'm the second oldest grandchild in our branch of the family. And the oldest one, shout out Serena, shout out to her husband. I can't remember his name right now. I'm so sorry, Serena. I can't remember his name. It'll come to me. It's a Japanese name. It's like Kenji or something like that. But his family is like... bona fide North Shore, like OGs, like they're from Laie, like
dark,
Kahuku. Oh yeah. See, when I sit forward, it clears up. It gets real bright when I sit forward. I don't know why that is. It's just how cameras work, I guess, now. But we were just busy with all that wedding stuff, and we were on North Shore the whole time. And your lady was,
Actually, it was
about to go.
she was,
You
yeah.
were about to have a new kid. So it just wasn't the right timing. We don't live that close to each other
Hey,
anymore.
see what I believe though is everything happens for a reason, man.
It'll happen.
Everything, whatever happens, however it works out, everything happens for a reason. That's how I live my life, and that's why I'm so happy with my life.
Mm-hmm.
Because something happens, everybody gets frustrated, everybody gets mad, but I don't fucking hang on to it. If it's like,
I don't freak out
I fucking
anymore.
miss it. I'm like, hey, it's whatever. It happened for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
We'll move on.
I think
I'll get my chance.
you and I, that's probably our best adult quality, because you and I have both had a lot of close friends, like people we really care about, fall off in the past 5 years. Since you and I both graduated high school. We've had a lot of friends go to places that, it's really sad to see them go, and a lot of them haven't come back yet. Some of them made it out, some haven't, but you and I, and we've talked about this a lot, have been the only ones that kind of seem to float above the bullshit for the most part. We've had our own shit happen, but, we were able to get shit back on track.
We stayed steady, you know what I mean?
We didn't fall off. We didn't fall off.
It didn't matter what we did, because they were doing the same thing, but they just went
straight downhill.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I think that's one of our best adult qualities, is that we get shook. We're human beings. It happens to us, but we don't freak out. We don't panic.
Yeah.
And I think that's one of the best things you can learn as an adult, is that you should expect life to just be a fucking blistering shit bitch to you. Life should just be a fucking gaping maw of horror and
don't
sadness.
Don't expect it to be good to you. That's one thing.
And you have to learn as an adult to let that shit roll off your shoulders, walk through the fucking punches life sends at you, and bring your own fucking happiness to it. That's why me and you are always fucking laughing and cracking jokes and stuff like that, and we're never serious, because it's like, life is too short to get hung up on some sad shit. You know what I mean?
And sometimes, not sometimes, because for me it's like, it's never a downfall for me to just, I'm always joking around. I'm always happy about shit. I'm always, I don't take shit too seriously, even when it's serious stuff, and which that can be a problem. But it's like, for me, it's like, I'd rather not, get so focused on this one thing that's, bad. Everybody's got their hardships. Mm-hmm. It just depends how you function through it.
How you handle it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And
Bounce back.
For me, it's like, my way of functioning through stuff is just, I laugh about it. Even if I don't even think it's funny, I'll make it funny. So I can just deal with it. And that's my way of dealing with it, rather than getting all worked up about it.
Yeah,
and,
laugh it
having
off.
it in the back of my mind, which I don't have anymore. But it's funny.
One of the best things I ever heard, and was Luis Limal Heredia, one of the original guys who trained with the Gracie family, like Hoyce and Horion and Henner, Hedon, all those guys, knows him very well. If you go back to actually UFC 1, there's a real timeless picture of Hoyce going to the cage for the final match for the championship, and in front of him is his father, Helio Gracie, the grandmaster and inventor of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
Right?
Yeah, rest in peace to the grandmaster Helio Gracie. Ahui ho, aloha oi, until we meet again. Real big loss there. But so Luis, I'm not saying like I'm a big jiu-jitsu guy. It's just I happen to live on Maui, where he runs his school, and I ended up training there, and he was a great guy, and I'm so thankful. Shout out to Joel Buhi, who's worked with me a little bit more closely than Limao did, but Limao was part of that original crew, and one of the best things he ever said to me while in a jiu-jitsu class, but I feel like it pertains to life really well, is when you're in someone's guard in jiu-jitsu, and if you don't know what a guard is, fucking look it up. UFC's a thing.
Yeah.
Keep up. But if you're in someone's guard, they're going to try to break your posture. They're going to try to pull you down, because that's where you're the least powerful. You have the least amount of options. And one of the best defenses to someone breaking on your posture is to simply just look towards the ceiling. You know, if you really know jiu-jitsu, you really know grappling, you don't really have to be looking at your opponent. It's tactile. Shout out Disney movies Going to the Mat. It was about a high school wrestler who was blind. But you don't really need to see what's going on. You know what's going on. You can feel it. You can feel it.
We're dark again.
And
I like how you just move and it changes.
yeah, it's just purely based on where I'm positioned. But he said it's hard to keep you down if you're looking up. Quit flexing your muscles, Jordan. You look like a fucking imbecile. Shout out Wolf of Wall Street. Stop. Anyway.
Yeah.
A very wise man said to me, it's hard to keep you down if you're always looking up. And I took that away from jiu-jitsu into life.
I mean, that's not just
You know, it sounds cliched.
It's metaphorical, though. You know.
Yeah, you know, it's a positive attitude.
It's literal and it's realistic to jiu-jitsu and grappling, what you're talking about. But also, you can take it away and take it.
It applies everywhere. You know. It's just like that old saying, when life gives you lemons, make lemonade, right? And I think that's one of the most important lessons to learn as an adult. And even Rocky said it, you know, it's not about how hard you can hit. It's about how you can get hit and keep on going. And that's really what life is. Life isn't a sprint. It's a marathon, you know what I mean? And some of us finish earlier, some of us finish later. But the real point is that we stuck it out, that we finished, that we went the distance, you know? And with life being that way, you can't get hung up on negative shit. You can't beat yourself down. The worst thing you can do is be your own worst enemy. If no one is cheering for you, be your own biggest fan. That's not cocky. You know what I mean? That doesn't make you a douchebag. Pride is not a bad thing. You shouldn't be ruled by your pride, but you should have your pride, and your pride should make you live to a higher standard and keep that higher standard within yourself, because you know, you might not be the best at what you do, and you might not reach whatever you consider as level. Greatness in your life. But what I think greatness really is accepting yourself for who you are, which is not easy for anyone to do. But once you accept yourself,
it's a big thing.
Is realizing your shortcomings, where you're not good, where you're not great, and either working to better those parts of yourself or just rising above them.
You know what also comes with the accepting yourself thing is at the time you might think about it and think, oh,
keep
this
talking,
is...
I'm gonna make a sissy.
Yeah, no worry, but you might think about it at the time like, this is who I am. But that really can change, because you think about it at a younger age, and it could be like, yeah, I think this is who I am, but it could be totally different, because that's how it was for me. I thought for a long time I was this douchebag, dickhead guy, you know, and I'm not proud of that, but that's what I was. That's how my life was at the time. And when I finally made that change, I thought, this is who I am. And then I thought, no, this isn't who I want to be. So I changed my ways, because everybody could do that. You can always change your ways. Everybody can change their ways. So I changed my ways, and you know, if you ask anybody that knows me from now or from before, they will always 100% of the time say I'm a happy guy, you know, a very likable guy, and I'm always positive, because that's just who I am, and that's how I choose to live my life. I don't really look at any negatives, or if there is a negative, you know, you can always turn negatives into positives.
Always.
If there's one thing I know, it's math. and negatives can always turn into positives.
100%. You know, I think you and I and our close circle of friends are a great example of just that. Because, you know, we're both biracial. We're both
Well,
black and
I
white, which
think
I think
that-
gives us a specific
I
insight.
think that us and all of our friends are a great example of how people can unify and become best friends no matter what you are. Because
No matter how different you are as
let's say
people.
me and you're primarily like not African American, but African. You're a first generation.
Yeah, my
American.
dad is from the Congo, and my mom is from Spanish Fork, Utah. So I'm as white as
So
it
it's
gets
like
and as black as it
white
gets.
and black, and like my dad's side, there's Native American.
My dad's from Kinshasa.
African American, so my dad is a black guy if you look at him, and my mom is Native American and white. She looks white.
Blonde hair, blue eyes.
But obviously that goes for me and my older brother Beanzo. But it's like my older brother is a Muslim.
Mm-hmm.
Me, I'm agnostic or
I would pin you as an atheist, just because
Yeah.
you don't believe in a higher power, and
I'm atheist or agnostic. It's kind of in between the lines, but it doesn't. It's there. You're pretty Christian based,
Well,
but
I really as like super woke and new agey as this sounds, I don't like to put a label on my faith. Now
no, I'm not
the
trying
God
to put a label
the
on
higher
you.
power. No, I just have to explain it.
Go ahead.
The higher power I believe in is the God from the Judeo-Christian religion tract. I grew up in Christian churches. Both of my parents were very involved in the church. I was very involved in church and religion from a young age. And I'm very thankful that I was able to find faith on my own separate from my parents. I had a time that I went away from it,
Yeah.
and I found it for myself and just happened to have that same faith. And I don't like to call myself Christian, and it ties into the same reason I don't really go to church anymore. Is growing up in the church, I saw how many people were just talking shit about each other and fake to each other's faces. And I, being someone who read the Bible, just was like, these are not how the believers are supposed to be.
Yeah.
So my relationship with God, I've decided it's best to leave between me and God.
Yeah.
And, that works for me because in my belief system, Bonzo being an atheist doesn't mean we can't be friends.
And so let's not get too far away from the point. But anyways, my older brother is a Muslim. You are.
I'm a Christian.
You're religious. Let's just say you're religious.
Yeah, I believe in Jesus. I'll say that. I'm
you're
a
religious.
Jesus
I don't-
guy. And then
don't
our friend Ginger,
he looked into the dark art side.
Yeah, and then Bonzo's older brother, is a Muslim, and he's a
so
bona
it's
fide
like-
Muslim. He's a practicing Muslim.
And so it's to go that. For me, I don't care what religion you are. I don't care where you came from. I don't care what you do or how you live your life. I'm here. If I like you, I like you, and if I like you, you're my friend. Whatever you do, that's on you. I'm not gonna tell you, hey,
You have
I
to
don't
be
agree
this
with
way,
that.
yeah.
Why don't you do this? No.
That's
If
fucked
you're
up.
gonna want to do that, who am I to say no? You can't do that. And it's vice versa. Who is like my brother? He's never once came to me and be like, "You should be a Muslim. You should look into this stuff." No, because that's what he wanted to do.
That's his thing. That's
And
his personal journey.
That's what he wants to do, and he loves it, and I support him 100%.
I love it. I love it.
And it's like, I'll never, although I don't believe in religion, that's just me. And that goes to show that you guys who do believe in religion, you don't come after me like, oh, you should, this and that. No, because that's what you guys believe. And that's okay. And it's okay for me not to believe.
Well, you know what? I've read the entire Bible from Genesis to Revelations more than once. Cover to cover. Read it, studied it, prayed on it. And I never once heard Jesus or any other prophet or religious figure in the Bible say, go forth and hassle. Go bother people. Go tell people they're not living the right way. Go make them
Yeah.
feel bad about themselves.
That's
and you
one
know what?
thing too.
I never saw Jesus do that either. If you want to pinpoint anything, look at Jesus.
That's one thing
He didn't.
too,
He
that
didn't
I don't
force anyone to
agree
listen
with,
to him.
Is that those, I'm not gonna point out any religions, but religions that go to people and try and like force their religion on people. Like, if you really believe in your religion, why are you trying to force it on people? You know, let it happen. Whoever is gonna believe with you or in you,
100%.
let them believe. Whoever's not,
They have to come to it on their own.
why can't they have their freedom of choice or freedom of religion, which is a total thing? Like me, like I never have ever gotten crucified or sanctified or anything for not being like a religious believer, and like that's awesome, because it's like, why should I?
You should not.
Because I believe in, well, I guess nothing, but because you believe this and I don't believe that, oh, we're enemies all of a sudden? Because
No.
that's how it is between religions most of
Yeah.
the time. It's
Yeah.
like, you got this religion believe this religion believe this, and it's like a clash, and it's like, why? Why can't you guys have your own thing? Why is that, like, so impossible in religion for that to be a thing?
Yeah, I think it's one of the worst things ever. And if you look at, as a religious person, I don't view people from other belief systems as believing something different from me, because I'm not your normal Judeo-Christian believer. I don't think heaven is some location. I don't think there are pearly gates and golden streets and choirs of cherubs. I don't think the Bible should be interpreted literally. It was written thousands of years ago by people who spoke various different dialects of different languages, and it's been translated and retranslated a bunch of times. But I think the main message is still the same. And I think this because I've challenged my own faith. And this is something a lot of people are afraid to do, and I understand that. Growing up, especially...
Keep going, though.
Growing up, especially in a Christian background, you're taught, to never waver from your faith, be steadfast and immovable, always believe in the Lord. But you have to think, we were created in God's image. And that's at least what, the holy books I've read has said, is that whoever you think the creator it is, that creator made human beings, Homo sapiens, in their image. And if nothing existed before them, they must have done that solely because they wanted other things to be like them. And I think that's where our human being need for expansion, for domination, for colonialism, we have this innate, built-in, hardwired need for more. And I think all of the belief systems we have on this planet have the same message. I feel like the golden rule stands: treat others as you would like to be treated. I feel like being a good person is the same thing on a basic level, no matter what culture you came from or you now live in. Whether you live in Southeast Asia or you live in Northwest America, a good person is not selfish. They're kind and patient. And I believe these are the qualities that make a good human being. And what I'm trying to tie this in together to is, whatever you believe in, the message is the same. So however we come to that message, even if we're all wrong, even if every belief system is 100% inaccurate and we all just made it up and it was just nothing, we're better for it because we had a system of beliefs, whether it was irrational or founded in reality or not, that guided us towards being better people, towards thinking about others, towards having empathy, showing kindness, showing perseverance, having something to work towards. And I think that's the real value in the religion, and that's been really perverted, especially, in recent decades by predators and, people seeking personal gain. But I think, to all of you out there who are on the fence about religion, even if you have no religion or even if you're very religious, I think the best thing you could do is to dive into belief systems, even if you don't believe in any of them at all. To learn about them would only teach you more about human beings, and
Well,
you,
see, that's-
even if you don't believe in a religion, you must believe you're a human being and that we're all the
That's-
same species.
That's the thing that I can say is that it's not like I grew up. I guess I don't really remember because of obvious stuff, but
Bonzo has had several incidents that caused severe CTE, so he doesn't remember much before the age of 12.
yeah,
But that gives him a unique insight on life, I feel like.
it does. But we can talk about that after. But what the fuck was I talking about?
We're
Religion.
talking about religion. Yeah.
I kind of lost it.
I believe you were saying something along the lines of, fuck, I don't know. But I think that's the real beauty of this drunk podcast, that we started off funny like usual, and about 30 minutes ago we started getting into this real talk hours kind of stuff.
Which is good.
Yeah, I like that. You know, I know we were talking about earlier how we're always happy-go-lucky and funny and joking and stuff, but I think every person out there should be multifaceted. You know, there's a real bad trend in, especially the past, 10 years, of calling people fake for behaving differently in different situations. But let me put it to you like this.
Do you need some soda for your drink?
Yes, I do.
Well,
Do you speak to your dad?
I think it's gone. Let's just do one of these.
Do you speak to your dad the same way you talk to me?
Absolutely not.
100% not, right? That would be disrespectful to your dad and weird to me. Right?
Yeah.
Exactly. So, I think now if you say one thing and then go to another group and say the exact opposite, yeah, you're fake. You're putting on a front, you know?
Yeah.
But like me, I was an only child until I was 15. And I lived with my mom for the most of that time, and then after that it was just my dad. And both my mom and my dad were very successful in their career fields and still are. They worked a lot. They're very intelligent people. And I can say that I was never not provided for. Until I was an adult, I never had a point in my life where I had to go without. And that's some respect I have to give both of my parents. For all of the static we've had between us, my parents have always made sure I was taken care of, and that I have
Same
to
here. And
I have to point out,
for
even when it
both
was
of
real
us,
hard.
His parents split up a lot earlier than my parents did. But on both sides, for me, for my mom and my dad, we were always taken care of. We always had a house and a bed and a room and food, and it was
Always
never,
had the basics.
and it's not to say that
I never
we
went
didn't,
hungry.
Yeah, and it's not to say we didn't struggle, because everybody has their own.
Well, yeah, I feel
And
like
some are worse than others. Some people went without food. Because, and it's like
I've been
glad-
through that as an adult.
I'm lucky
And-
I've never had to say that, but
Yeah.
some people go through that, and everybody has their struggle.
I think your parents always say, when you grow up, you'll understand everything. A lot of that was bullshit.
That's not true.
Now, what I do understand is providing a home, food, and clothing. Those basic needs that everyone has to have met.
The thing
I can understand that.
that I can say that I most respect is that whether my mom and dad agreed with each other or were arguing all the time,
When your parents are divorced,
They
I
made
think
it
every
work,
kid of
you
divorce
know.
knows about that
Yeah,
static.
you know, they really didn't like each other. They still kind of don't, but it's kind of gotten worse now. But it's, you know, I won't talk about that kind of
You're
stuff.
grown up now. You don't have to deal with it if you don't want
Yeah,
to.
but you know, as you're growing up, I learned about it more when I was growing up because as a kid, they kind of made it not their personal beef with me, you know.
Which is what you
And
should do as a parent. Like,
it-
if there's static between parents, that
It
should stay away from the
did
kids.
happen as I got older.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, but I'm glad it didn't happen at such a young age for me, because then that would have really fucking
Well,
turned
see,
my spin.
I
though.
saw that
And
static from,
that's
like,
why for
before
you it's
preschool.
different, because my parents split up. I think it was right about the time, a little bit after I had my head injuries. So I
It was
kind
middle
of
school.
I kind of didn't really know what was going on. I was kind of learning everything again, getting used to life, because when I had my head injuries, it wiped out everything.
He had to learn how to drink
that.
water again.
It wiped out everything. So I pretty much
Factory
clean
reset.
slate. Yeah. But for him, it happened a lot earlier, where he still remembers all of it. So, well, maybe not all of it,
It's
but
never stopped.
yeah, but it was like that was a part of his life, and it probably was a part of my life growing up. It's just I don't,
Well, yeah, all your siblings
I
can
just-
attest to that.
nah,
Yeah,
it's-
you
for
just
me,
you just don't remember.
I don't remember it. So you know that must be for them. I don't know. You know, we don't really talk
I
about
feel like it was harder for you because even though you had your memory reset basically at 12 years old, you still went right back into that family scenario. Like your family was still together, in a literal sense at that time when you had that head injury. And I feel like it was a little worse for you because you go from this place of reassurance as a young kid. You put so much faith into your parents and your family, that you're always going to have a place to live, that you're always going to have food to eat, you're always going to be warm, you're always going to be cold. If you're sick, your mom's going to take care of you and give you medicine. They'll take you to the doctor if you get hurt. You have all these reassurances. And you went back into those reassurances right as your family unit kind of drifted apart. Right as your parents split up. It was right around that time. So I feel like
Yeah.
it was probably way worse for you because for me, and I've talked to doctors about this, I just kind of started my cognizant life with that preset. And that's why I always thought like I
that's
had
how
some
you
problem.
thought it was. You know.
Well, yeah, because my earliest memories, about like 2 or 3
Well,
years
I
old,
mean,
my parents were already divorced.
At that,
and
though,
already talking shit.
It's one and the same because that's
But you didn't remember having that family before, but the things you don't forget are how you feel. You feel safe at home. You like when you first came home, you didn't feel like you were in some weird place. Sure, you
I
didn't.
did though.
Yeah, but you didn't feel like you.
That's the thing though. I didn't. When I woke up, the only person I knew was my dad.
Yeah, I know, but
And I didn't even really. I don't even remember this. This is what I've been told.
But you didn't feel like you had a life, and that's gone, and now you're in this new one. It was just this life that you're supposed to know, but you don't.
It was just so. From what I've been told is that I woke up. I woke up, I guess, at the hospital, and
But
my
you
mom
don't
and
remember
dad.
anything until you got home, right?
I don't remember anything till I got home. But when I woke up in the hospital, my mom and my dad were there, and I sat up and I see my dad, and I said, "Who's that?" I said to my dad, "Who's that?"
Because you
I
know
was
him,
talking-
you recognize him, but you're like, who is that?
No, but I was talking about my mom,
Oh.
and he said, "That's your mom," and I said, "You know what?" Kind of thing.
That's
And-
not ringing a bells, but I can't think of who that is either.
Yeah, but that's the only thing I remember from in the hospital. I'm sure that's not the only thing happened. But then flash forward to when we get home, this is when I remember most stuff from here on. I got home, I walk into my front door, and my sister, we'll call her Creature.
Shout out, Creature.
Yeah, we walk in and she's there, and it's weird to remember it now because at the time I had no idea. But I walk in and she's like, "Hi, Pono, Bonzo." um, and I'm like, I looked at her and I still remember it. I looked at her and I was like, who are you? And as soon as I said that,
Broke her heart.
she like broke down, cried.
Your sister is one of the most confident, like, self-assured people I know. And that's the only story I've heard. And I've only heard it from you and her that, that really hurt her. And I can only imagine, like, if my little sister had a head injury and she didn't remember who I was, that would hit me. That would hit me real
like,
deep.
I don't know how to feel about it, and especially at the time when it happened.
Just don't feel bad about it because it's not your fault.
I learned to do that, but it was like when it happened.
At first.
Yeah, I was like, why is she crying, kind of thing. What's going on?
Mm-hmm.
And she like hugged me, and she's like, just bawling, like, you don't remember who I am? And I'm like, no, and then so my mom and dad went in the back and she was there with me and I said, I'm thirsty. And she said, okay, make some water. And so, I like kind of turned, I was in the kitchen, I turned to the kitchen and I was like, how do I make water? And, she started crying more and she grabbed me a cup and, she grabbed me the water and I was like, all right. And it's weird that I remember this because thinking about it now, it's like I know how to do this stuff, but at the time, it was so weird that I didn't know. I was like 13 years old, and then they were like, "Oh, do you want to take a shower?" And I was like, "Yeah, I want to take a shower."
That sounds good, yeah.
And they're like, "Okay, go." And I stood in the bathroom like butt naked, and I was like just standing there, and I was like, how do I take a shower? It was weird almost that like I knew what it was. Like I knew what taking a shower was, but I didn't know how to do it. And I was like, how do I take a shower? And I guess that's where it ends. Because I don't remember anything after that. And then when I start remembering, it was kind of right there. It's like after that. That's the only thing I remember from immediately after the incident. And then I guess it's probably been more weird for my family members rather than me because I don't have
you don't feel
anything to go off of, but it's like they have all that stuff that and even there's times where they'll tell me stories and they're like, you don't remember that? I'm like, I have no idea what you're talking about, but they're like, you were there.
It's a great example of that is when we were living together, I showed you Oh Brother, Where Art Thou, one of our favorite movies. Shout out George Clooney, shout out John Goodman. And immediately when I showed it to you, I wasn't sure if you would like it, but you fucking dug it right away.
I started singing the song.
Yeah. And maybe like about a week after that, I was talking to your mom, and I was.
I didn't even see that movie.
He really liked that movie. I didn't think he would like it, and she's like, he's always liked it. He just doesn't remember it. And then dawns on me like, oh yeah, you don't remember shit from before because that came out when we were.
Yeah.
Super.
I don't know.
We weren't walking yet when that came out, And that's always been something that I keep in the back of my mind about you. But at the same time, I'm thankful for it because I feel like the person you were before the most recent head injury you've had, like me and you probably wouldn't have been as good of friends as we were. Like I think we still would have been friends.
From what I know and from what I hear, probably not.
Yeah,
because
you're an asshole,
and see, I still probably was an asshole after my head injury,
You
but
still
from
are, yeah.
I mean, yeah, I still am now. But from what I hear is that I changed a lot.
Yeah.
When I had my head injury. So I don't know.
Dude,
but
you've changed a lot in the last 5 years, man. In the last year.
Yeah.
Dude, you and I have both changed a lot.
Yeah.
But I think we both have had similar routes to coming where we are, even though they could be labeled different. Like you don't remember anything before you were 12, and then you came right into your family breaking up, as
Yeah.
it was, your parents split up. My first memories are around the time when my parents split up. I was only like 2 or 3 years old, so like my whole life up until this point, all I've known is my parents kind of being at odds with each other, and that's kind of the same for you too.
I guess so.
Even though just at a different time window.
I guess it just was same situation, but it happened earlier on for you.
Timing, yeah.
But I guess it's kind of exactly the same
similarly.
because it was at right about the time that I was first remembering stuff.
Do you remember your parents being happy together? Neither
The
do I.
only thing I know is I've seen their wedding tape, and
Yeah, it was all good right about then.
But
before
that
we
was-
were on the scene,
what
shit was all good.
Probably like 8 years before I was born. So
Yeah, he was. What, you were like third or fourth?
me?
Well, on mom's side, you were.
Well, so
third.
for my dad,
No, you were fourth on mom's side.
for mom, she had
'Cause-
Chalet Cree, Kaika, and me. So I was fourth. For my dad, he had Carissa, Chalet Cree.
So you were fourth
Kaika.
on both sides.
No, I was fifth with my
Well,
dad.
no, Kaika, because those first four on your mom's side are the same on your dad's
No,
side.
no. My mom had Chalet Cree Kaika. I would be 4. My dad had Carissa, Chalet Cree Kaika. So I'll be 5th with my dad, 4th with my mom.
Okay. All right. But I feel like you and I both had similar viewpoints coming into the life that we live now.
Yeah.
And the way
I
I
would
met
agree.
Bonzo was me and Beanzo had class together in middle school, and I had just moved back to Hawaii from California, so I didn't speak Pidgin anymore. All I had known was like the traumatic situation that I was in, and I really didn't have any friends. And Ginger and Beanzo were my first real friends in middle school. The
And that
hardest
was-
time in anyone's life is fucking middle school.
Him and Ginger were my older brothers, like good friends. And my best friend was Noah. He's still my best friend. But that was just my guy at the time. It was just me and him
He's
rolling
still the
around.
guy. Shout out Noah again.
Yeah.
Shout out
But-
Noah. Shout out Noah's wife. I don't know if she wants us to talk about her. They're gonna
Well,
have a little girl.
We'll
so,
not mention her name, but shout out Noah and his wife. They're having a little girl too.
Yeah, shout out to them. Noah is a servant of our nation. He is a United
Marines.
States Marine. And shout out to him for that. Shout out to Ginger and Beanzo, United States Airmen,
Force.
staff sergeants.
Yeah.
Enlisted staff sergeants in the United States Air Force. Both earned BTZ.
Let's hats off.
We'll take our hats off to our service
For all of
members.
them.
Yeah. Shout out to Elizabeth, also in the United States Air Force. Close friend of ours as well. But me and Bonzo's older brother, we were friends, and that we got to know each other, but we were never really that close. And then the first time in high school, I think I ever went over to a friend's house, Ginger says like, "Oh, we gotta go over to Beanzo and Bonzo's house after school. Like, we have so much fun, and we do all this fun stuff." Don't touch me.
Yeah.
But we go over, and it's me, Beanzo, and Ginger, and we're chilling, we're having fun. And
I'm passed
Bonzo,
out on the couch.
he sleeps like he's been dead since Jesus was born.
I used to.
Used to.
Now it's different, but I used to sleep like I ain't
No,
never
yeah,
slept
so
before.
we put our balls on his face and took pictures. I'll just cut to the chase with that.
Yeah.
And when he woke up, he kept asking us to sleep over.
Well, no, you guys showed us. You showed me the pictures.
This again.
and So they showed me the pictures with their testicles on my face, and I was like, oh, why don't you guys sleep over? And they're like, nah. And I was like, yeah, come on. It's a friendly match, if anything. Barcelona versus Real Madrid.
Yeah, not everybody knows you got paddles on the back of your controller now.
But you know, that's what really kicked off
Our friendship,
yeah,
as it is today, anyway.
Bonzo and Bablo. That's really what started it, was that. And that's kind of what started it with all of us, because me and Noah weren't really friends with, we had friends on our side, but
They're also younger than me, Beanzo, and Ginger.
yeah, so we're a year younger than them. But that's kind of what really started it, was that. And then we became friends, and then our friend circle became their friend circle, and whoever fit kind of just fit, you know. And that's how the whole thing became a thing. And you know, we've been running for quite a while.
Mm-hmm.
I think
Yeah, I think
I
2
think
hours.
that was good. That was honestly really good.
Yeah. So, if you're the kind of person who skips to the end, or even if you watch to the end, let other people know. First hour was a bunch of funny shit, and then the second hour we just got into some real
it was
talk.
pretty deep the second hour.
Let us know what you liked more. I kind of think we should do a funny hour and then a serious hour.
Yeah, let us
separately.
know. We'll post it on our Instagrams and stuff too. Let us know what you guys think, what you like better, the funny.
Any input you
Or
give
the
us is going
serious,
to help us make this more entertaining for you.
Yeah, any input really helps us, and we're not trying to become Joe Rogan, you know, but
We are.
we're having fun, you know, we're doing our thing. We enjoy this.